last year. I walked away from one. I was a few months with her, and because abusive person towards animals. Didn't like it, and maybe I will even make a video about it. So if you're watching this, and this is not to make threats, because I will never mention somebody's name, but some things are simply out of proportion. I think it needs to be discussed, and I think that person had also so many red flags, characteristics, red flag characteristics, that, you know, once it piles up, that's another thing, right? You allow one thing, and then there's another thing, and that's another thing on top, and another thing on top. You build your whole relationship upon, okay, leave it for this one, leave it for this one. Sneering comments, making fun about what you're doing. By the way, another ex of mine, she said, "No, you can better get married with the calisthenics." You know, I had that's another thing, right? So when you put in the work to keep your body in shape, and I like to stay in shape, and let me also put in this: I'm not one of those personal trainers who on the testosterone and tell you and that I'm in the greatest shape of my life. No, I drink beer once in a while. I smoke cigarettes. I do think about what I'm eating, but not in an extreme way. I'm not weighing all my foods. I'm not weighing the proteins, powders, you know, and otherwise everything will go, you know, will drop in like a fucking cake in the oven. No, I am building my mind in the first place, a resilient mind. If I cannot eat for a few days, then so be it. You know, I have lost multiple times pretty much everything, and I had days that I could not eat. I simply didn't have the money for that. So what? But I still do my runs, because my body is already such a rhythm that it needs to run. Why? Because I think that is some of the first things that people, you know, can do. Doesn't cost money, and I do believe that running keeps you in a very above reasonable shape. Not only this, I'm also doing the calisthenics. So this person said, yeah, you can get married to the calisthenics spot, in a very sneering way. And then I think, what do you want me to do? Sit on the couch eating Cheetos and get fat, and then you can cheat on me? And there is always I always think about what is the thought behind it. What do you want? You know, you want to cage me. I also do not cage any. Like I said, I'm never caging another person. The only thing, you know, when I'm in, let's say, a relationship, the only thing, yeah, if you see other people, then you know, just let me know, and then we just cut it out with the whole time waste. Simple. Maybe not nice things to say, or a nice thing to say, but very realistic. And not only this, is it for me a time saver, but also for the other person. Maybe the other person has the intent to do every week a couple of guys. Yeah, no, I don't want to be one of those, right? I'm very honest about this. Can I be 100% loyal? Yes, because when I say something, let's say it like this. Everybody can say this, but the only reason that I say this, if I would start stacking up all kind of bullshit, you know, making say things to people and then simply, you know, live a whole different kind of standards, you know, I think like this, then the guy upstairs or the universe would not grant me this life. You know, I would feel constantly anxious. Another thing, people who constantly lie, you know, they're constantly anxious. There is not one person. I have to check my battery. Ooh, 70%. There's not one person on the planet who feels not anxious. The person who lies. They're constantly anxious. They look constantly for all kind of weird vices, and of course, need to make other people feel bad. I noticed this from multiple people. So yeah, do you gonna give up your good habits, you know, part of your routine for somebody else? No, red flag. A person who wants to break your good habits. You know, why don't you stop training? And another thing, I had also another ex. She actually at one, because I'm pretty obsessed with everything. And when people are not over here and with their own mind focused on growth, you quickly, you know, become, yeah, they see you as an irritating person. And the thing is, doesn't matter, we just move on. But the thing is, this person said constantly, yeah, what are you doing constantly on the phone? And this actually, I'm not gonna say which exact time period, but the thing is, this person, yeah, why are you constantly on the phone? Are you stealing? Are you scamming people? No, I'm not. But not once, not twice, 10 times. And then I say also, ciao for now. You do what you gotta do, I do what I wanna do. And this is make my strategy available for the people through my vlogs. You know, so they can also live a life of freedom. In the meantime, I talk about multiple red flags in this specific series. I try to stay on topic, but you know. And you know what? When it's also about my videos, you know, maybe when people start researching me, you know, they can see the real me. There is not something that I would fabricate that I could keep holding on for hundreds of vlogs. And I do believe when you would watch vlog number 5000, there's not a lot of change besides the fact that I probably speak better, maybe get faster to the point and all that kind of stuff. But in general, I just want to be myself. I don't want to dress up so you think that I'm Lord of the Forest. I'm now in the forest, Kneževo, Sofia, Bulgaria. The thing is, you know, I'm not pretending anything. And I do believe people who pretend, they can never hold up with the whole performance, because performances from people who are fake never last long. And this is I'm doing for a living, because I'm filtering constantly people, because I'm always looking for people to work with, but there's very specific kind of things that I'm looking at. 2 lies, out of the place. 2 times too late. Usually the first time too late is already a huge flag. Lying, constantly tired, not training, because training builds a resilient mind. Why do you need a resilient mind? Simply because there will be problems along the way when you build a project. You know, okay, and this is again, I know people who take loans from the bank, and so they can lick their asses. People who they, you know, took loans from and all that kind of stuff. You know, you don't want this. You want to live a life of freedom, and also that the people around you living a life of, let's say, truth. Would it be nice that, for example, your children would have real relationships, real friendships, you know, that also that the people are actually willing to walk those extra 10,000 miles. Yeah, but Alan, but those people are very hard to find. Yes, they are. But if everything was so easy, you know, then everybody had solid friends, not the ones that run away when things are going bananas. Been there, done that. Because in my past, you know, I stick around with a lot of 9-to-5 people, with the 9-to-5 mentality. And this is not that those people are bad, but if you are developing stuff and create more opportunities, pull in a lot of new people, they will benefit from something what I didn't put into work for but also don't have the standards. That's another thing. And the standards of, let's say, honor and respect. By the way, my battery is almost empty, so I'm gonna close this series. I'm actually thinking, you know, is this my best work, this series? I don't know. But the thing is, vlog 5000 one way or another, one day, I think it's gonna be great. And not maybe even 5000, vlog number 500. I got at the moment 8%. I thought I'd fully loaded or charged this GoPro, but maybe I didn't. The thing is, like always, my vlogs unedited, raw. I'm just saying what I want with some sort of boundaries, right? And just keep your eyes open, people, and just be real in the first place to yourself. Ask yourself very harsh questions would make you feel uncomfortable. I also do believe when you make yourself feel uncomfortable every single day, you are growing. And Nothing grows in comfort, sitting on the bench, couch, judging other people, you know, not going anywhere. You're not growing personally, mentally, physically. I think mentally is the same as personally. Anyway, 5%, gotta go. Ciao for now.